Welcome to your favorite sports drama podcast, The Double Dose, the drama of sports. I'm Nathan, and every week, my co-host and girlfriend Rachel and I discuss all things in the sports drama universe.
Sprinkled in with pop culture, we cover topics from Bravo to Brady and everything in between. So keep listening to find out more. Cheers!
Welcome to the Jared Allen episode of your favorite sports drama podcast, Double Dose. I'm Nathan, sitting with Miss Rachel Rooney Eden. Can't talk today. I was so excited to ask this question. Do you know what episode number this is?
I do. 69. Yeah, 69.
How are you? How you been?
Good, it's episode 69, and that means that the number 69 was played by this Jared Allen man.
Yeah, sick puppy.
Does he know Josh Allen? Are they related?
I don't think they're related, but I'm sure he knows of Josh Allen, yes.
Is he a football player? Jared Allen?
Former football player, yes.
Former...
Minnesota Vikings.
That's football?
Yeah. Minnesota Vikings, one of your favorite logos.
Oh, right.
Jesus. Kirk Cousins of it all? You're wearing their colors practically.
Yeah, I know. Don't you dare. Okay?
Why?
Thank you.
Why?
I'm upset at football. And
Me
that's
too.
it. That's the end of the story. I'm
Why?
upset at football.
You want to get into it? You want to unpack this?
I mean, I guess we can unpack it like right away, but I'm doing okay if that's what you were asking.
Okay. I'm upset at football too. I cannot beat my cousin Lucas in freaking Madden, and it's driving me insane. I'm 0-3, and I think I've lost by a combined 168 to 2 points, and so I'm upset. And I'm upset.
Are you upset at football still because your team, the Patriots, are no longer in the running for things, or and you're just mad, or what's the deal?
No, when it comes to the Patriots, so we're gonna cover everything Patriots, Bill Belichick, Gerard Mayo, Robert Kraft, everything there. We have a fun announcement that we're going to have a guest on this episode.
We're going to have a guest. Episode 69. There's literally no better episode to bring on. The one and the only.
Yes. Mr. Jameson Kraft to discuss everything Patriots. So we're gonna bring that up at the back end of the episode.
We're bringing a Kraft on the episode to talk about.
We are bringing a Kraft.
To talk about the Patriots.
There was no other way to talk about the Patriots
without bringing Kraft
State of the Union address without bringing on a fellow member of the Kraft family,
exactly.
Mr. Jameson Kraft.
Right.
So that is not why I'm upset. I'm upset purely because I can't win a freaking Madden game, and that's always been my kryptonite in video games. Is I get really angry, and I get swooped in. But when I can't beat someone, I get really angry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just a video game. It's literally just a video game.
Yeah, but it's aggravating as hell.
It's okay. I think there's bigger fish to fry.
No. I'll be fine. It's 5 minutes because the game just ended, and my blood pressure's still a little high.
It was literally your choice to pick up the mics right now. We could have given yourself a little 5 minutes to decompress.
No, we have to get this recording done before the 4:30 game, before the Buffalo Bill game starts.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, okay? So get your head in order. Get your head out your ass and in the freaking studio, okay?
In the studio, here now, let me ask you a question. Let's unpack this then. Let's unpack this anger. Let's unpack this animosity. Let's get to it then. If you want to tell me everything that's wrong with me and my feelings. The Cowboys lost. The Cowboys stink. Okay? What happened yesterday? What happened? Talk to me.
I don't want to. Okay? That's the short and end of it, or whatever people say. The long and short of it. The short end of it. I don't want to even talk about it. I'm upset, okay?
It's a podcast. We have to talk about it.
Because the Cowboys did what the Cowboys do.
Story as well as time.
And, being a Dallas Cowboys fan is so fun until you get to the playoffs, what we're at now, and they shit the bed. And they just decide that they're not going to play anymore, and they're not even going to throw the ball at all. They're just going to pretend like they have no idea what's going on the field. Dak is just going to literally not even throw it, not even pass it. He's just going to run the ball himself when everyone else is open. He wants to throw to people to have an interception. He wants to, make a mess, make a mockery of himself. He's making a mockery of himself. And you know what? Kudos to you, Dak Prescott, because it's the last time I want to see yo ass on the field. What? What's the matter?
I would argue that this wasn't Dak Prescott's fault.
Okay, but a lot of it is. It's half and half.
He threw for 400 yards yesterday.
Yeah, he's throwing for his life, okay? But he's not making it. They're not going anywhere. He's throwing all these yards, and all the yards are going nowhere.
They put up 30-plus points on him.
On 40-something.
Yeah, but he didn't play. I mean, he threw 2 interceptions.
He played bad. And don't tell me that he did not play bad. I was watching the same stream that you were watching. To me, he played bad. And the coach, Mike McCarthy, didn't know what the hell he was doing there either. Every time the camera went on him, he looked just as confused as I was at the game.
Okay, let's take
take a what?
Let's take a step back. First, Dak Prescott. Are you serious that you don't want him as your quarterback next year? Are you serious like you're done seeing him on the field?
I'm just done because it's either him or it's Mike McCarthy. I want to call him Michael at this point. It's either him or Michael McCarthy.
Well, they're saying there's rumors out there on the street now moving on to Mike McCarthy that he may be replaced by someone that you're very familiar with, Mr. Bill Belichick. So, number one, first question, does Mike McCarthy go?
I don't know.
I think he does.
And then he does.
Number two, if he's gone, would you be interested in getting Bill Belichick?
I don't know. Am I?
I would think so.
I'm coming off an emotional night, okay? So I just want you to understand that. I thought that they were going to win. So coming off of that, and then I bet that CeeDee Lamb was going to get a touchdown, and he didn't. So I'm coming off of those emotions as well. Okay? So I'm an emotional wreck right now.
Okay.
And you're trying to ask and pick and prod and at
this is
me,
what we do.
You've
been picking and prodding me all year about the Patriots. We've lost freaking
the Patriots are just
13 times. We've lost 13 times, and every week I have to come on this in front of this microphone and answer your questions. So yes, I'm gonna ask a few questions about the freaking Cowboys. I'm sorry.
Okay, so ask your question. Go ahead, ask away. All right, then we're done.
No.
Moving on.
More
what?
Dak or Mike McCarthy? Which one would you rather have stay?
Dak.
Good pick, because a quarterback is more difficult to find than a head coach.
You would know.
Question number 2. I already asked this question. Let's repeat it. Yes, I already know. Would you be interested in Bill Belichick, or do you not want that mumbling?
I don't know. I don't know who's a good coach. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, right. I don't understand the coaches. Like, how do I know if he's a good coach? I don't know. To me, it just seems like all the players have no fucking idea what's going on out there. That's what I think. There's a miscommunication happening on all ends of the spectrum. So that's me and my opinion on that.
Do you think they should hire you
as the coach?
As something, director of morale.
I would be the best director of morale. I'm arguably the best director of morale. A lot of people say I'm their biggest cheerleader. You know, I love to amp people up. I'm a great, how do you say, como se dice, life coach? Like, I'm literally like, you got this, you get it, girl, you get it, boy, like, you're good to go. Like, and like, that's the thing, is like, I wanted to go into the locker room and just be like, boys, let's go. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they didn't, because I wasn't in there.
Because you weren't in there.
Yeah, I wasn't in the locker room. That's why they lost.
Okay.
Because who the hell, Mike McCarthy, what the heck is he saying? What do you think he said to them?
Mike McCarthy's he's a puppet. He is Jerry Jones' puppet. And to me, that's what the issue is with the Dallas Cowboys, and will remain to be the issue, is that Jerry Jones needs too much control. Jerry Jones needs too much control. He's the general manager. He's the owner. The next person underneath him is his son. No one can tell them one way or the other. They know how to build good, if not great, regular season football teams. They do not know how to build a Super Bowl contending team. They just don't. And this happens every single year. The Green Bay Packers, have more playoff wins in that stadium, AT&T Stadium.
In the Dallas Cowboys Stadium?
Yes. They have 3 postseason wins, and the Dallas Cowboys have like 1.
Well, there you have it. I'm upset. Okay? There's nothing more to talk about with the Cowboys other than they shit the bed. And that's it. And now the season is over.
It's crazy how fast the season comes to an end, right?
That's it. Then the game is done, and so is the season for me.
Right.
So I'm not watching any more football.
What?
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm taking a stance.
You're taking a leave of absence.
I'm taking a leave of absence. I'm going on football strike.
We did put a TikTok up of me recording you. You did not know I was recording you. I should have asked your permission prior.
Yeah, no permission. No permission on that. Thanks for that. Thank God I didn't say anything too crazy.
Seriously.
Or take off my clothes or something.
Hey.
Yeah.
We did put a TikTok up, as I said, me recording you as your reaction to the game ending. You and I both really needed CD Lamb to score a touchdown, anytime touchdown, have a couple of bets hit. That did not happen. Would you like to unpack that little video there?
What happened in the video was a complete meltdown. And that's all I can tell you.
The lights behind the TV looked awesome, though.
The lights behind the TV looked amazing, and I'm honestly so happy that we did that. Like, I'm staring at them now, and I'm over the moon. Like, I literally elevates our space, don't you think?
It does. It does.
I ordered these, like, sticky lights from Amazon that you plug it in, you put them on the back of your TV, and it, like, illuminates the TV. But I didn't get any of the freaking colors or anything like that. Like, I just got plain stark white, what we
don't
need.
need the colors.
Well, I don't need purple
We're
staring at
colorful
me.
enough.
Exactly. And honestly, like, I'm like, okay, this is luxury.
Right.
Like, excuse me, Amazon, when did you come through making my home look like this?
Right.
This is incredible. Don't you like it?
I love it. I honestly do. I thought it was like an annoying project and something that you were saying for a little bit, and I was like,
No, you were so against it. Like,
I wasn't against
it. Should we really stick it to the TV? I'm like, yes, we're going to stick it on the TV. It's going to look amazing. And then literally I turn it on. Ooh. That's what we're like, right?
Listen, when it comes to freaking home projects, like any unnecessary construction or fucking project building or putting things together, everyone that knows me knows I'm the laziest person in the world when it comes to that.
You're not lazy. You just have a very short fuse.
True.
That's what it is.
Yes, no patience.
Yeah, it's not laziness.
Your
fuse is short.
It's
a dynamite. I'm like very scared.
Everything better come together very quickly and very seamlessly, or else.
Yeah, exactly.
My same feeling, the same burning sensation coming inside from me losing a Madden game comes out in me doing a project. However, this project went very smooth. We ordered the stickers. The first round of stickers were not good. They wouldn't plug into anything. It was weird. It's one of those, they didn't have an outlet. They just had like a
fucking loose wires.
Red and black wire.
Red and black, but yeah, red and blue. Like, I need an electrical freaking license to operate this machinery.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And like, no way I'm about to be like twisting those things against any open electrical source.
And I know there is a benefit to those. I think you just like make one touch to the other. My dad would also be very disappointed in me, the fact that I don't know how to do that, considering the fact that like
you don't have an electrical license.
Yeah, but he taught me how to do stuff like that all the time. Because
I'm sorry, there's no way like that. I would even feel safe with you doing that.
He went to vocational school to be an electrician.
Yeah, I would have hired him.
He he quit 2 weeks before graduation.
Yeah, but that's still enough.
No. He did. Yeah,
unless the course was 2 weeks long.
No, it's vocational. 4 years of vocational school.
Okay.
Regardless, this project came along great. The new stickers came. It had a plug. It fit around the TV perfectly.
Yes.
The outlet, perfect length.
Yes.
Like to fit in our little contraptions back there.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you.
It.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, you know what? You're welcome. Salute me. Thank you. Attention. Yep. Thank you so much. So, moving on, thanking me for my service. We should really be thanking Kristin. I can't say her last name. What? Juszczyk, who is the wife of a 49ers player.
Kyle Juszczyk.
as she designed Taylor Swift's Chiefs jacket. So I'm not sure if you guys saw, but over the weekend, Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes stepped out and it looked like their man's jerseys, but wait, they're puffer jackets. And lo and behold, it's actually another player on another team's wife, Kristin, who makes these jackets handmade. But she made them for Taylor and Brittany, and she couldn't have been literally like more on point with these jackets. She double like insulated them, like stuffed them. They're so freaking cute. She always like repurposes these jerseys for Simone Biles. She made a vest. She makes like her own pieces. She's made other things for Brittany Mahomes. She's made like cargo pants. She's done it all. And honestly, like what a brilliant idea from an NFL wife. Like she's like, wait, all of these girlies are gonna want to wear their man's jerseys, but like it's cold out, and like I don't like to wear a jersey over a puffer jacket. Like I know how some guys do, but like why not? Like now you're getting a long sleeve, now you're getting insulation, like, and you look cute, and it's your man. There's literally nothing better. There's nothing better. This is like Rachel's stamp of approval.
I think they're awesome. Her TikTok videos of her like step by step doing them is also very, very impressive. Like, not only
that takes a lot of fucking time.
Yeah, that's one of my questions I was gonna ask.
And a lot of patience.
So I wouldn't stand a chance.
Not at all. Not at all. Like I know from making a few things in my fashion design class in high school for 3 years. Like I've made a handful of things, and every time it's like, ooh, you know, it just doesn't look, it looks very homemade. You know what I mean? Very homemade. But hers, like, they looked professional. Like,
they did.
I guess when you really have, like, most of the time in the world and, like, you can just, like, support yourself on hobbies like that, that's very cool. But she did a phenomenal job. Like,
yeah, it seems like she's been doing this for a lot longer. It's just that the fact that Taylor Swift wore it, so that's
sometimes you just need that viral moment.
Yes.
You know?
She also made one, you mentioned Simone Biles, you mentioned Brittany Mahomes. She made one for Taylor Lautner. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
From Twilight?
Oh, yes.
Apparently he's a big Detroit Lions fan, so he was gifted his on the sideline of the Lions game right before the game.
Very cool.
And hers was sick. It had like black sleeves.
Cool.
My question is like, the Nike logo's on there, like she has like the team's logos. Do you think she'll get like a cease and desist from the NFL or these teams? Because I feel like if she wasn't like an NFL player's wife, she would. But I don't want her to. I'm not saying like
But maybe she's
insinuating that she should. But I'm just saying like that seems like, you know, we always talk about how the NFL and these teams and Roger Goodell, like they can't get out of their own way.
But I don't
this
know
seems
if,
like something
that
this seems like something that they would ruin.
But can you repurpose something so much so that it's, do you know what I mean? Like if you like break it down to like maybe it's like 60% of the actual product. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're able to resell it. I don't know. I don't know the logistics behind that. Maybe she's just gifting them. Like maybe it's something that she's not making a profit from. Can't imagine
I would think she is attempting to make a profit from them. I'm assuming that she's gifting these, but her intention is to make a business out of it.
Yeah. Simply
because her husband, Kyle, was all over social media hyping her up the entire weekend because he plays for 49ers. They have the week off. They're playing next week. So the fact that he's hyping her up and, like, he's really helping her promote this thing, I feel like they are attempting to make it a business, which I think is a genius business to make.
I think it's really cool. I think that it's nice to see, like, the NFL wives, like, stick together or like do things like that, because like even I saw Alex Earl post and she was with all the Dolphin girls and stuff, and like they were making TikToks and stuff, and it's like it's fun because it's like once you're in that environment, like those are really the only other ladies that kind of understand like the lifestyle that you're in, like what's going on with you. Like it's like what Mel Robbins says. Like when she can't ask her husband for advice on like her life. Like she would have to ask someone like Jay Shetty. So it's just nice that like the NFL wags, you know what I mean, are supporting each other. I think that is so sweet. And like here Taylor Swift is just a woman supporting other women. She's a big women supporter. So.
And not the fact like the viral sensation that this has become. I'm sure that you'll start seeing other wives in other sports, including basketball, hockey.
But it's also a big
over.
gap in the market. Like,
Huge.
people would, first of all, love something like that. Like, in general, like, I feel like boys would even buy, like, a jersey puffer.
Yes, yeah. That's what Taylor Lautner was wearing one. It looked fucking sick.
But, like, do you guess Taylor Lautner's wife's name?
Taylor.
Yeah. Taylor Lautner and Taylor Lautner.
I would have never guessed.
Really? Well, you did. So
the way that you asked it made me think.
Yeah.
Context clues.
Yeah, I really stumped you on that one.
Yeah.
But I think it's so great, like, men and women alike, because I honestly thought that the jacket that Taylor was wearing was Travis's because it looked big, but I'm like, oh, she put in like a bigger jersey.
Yeah, for sure. There's nothing.
Because Brittany Mahomes's was cropped, like more cropped.
Right.
So maybe she requested a longer jacket than like a short puffer or something.
Maybe. Yeah, but to your point, I don't think this is a female only like product at all. I think men could wear these as well. But I forgot the point that you made, to be honest with you. I just had a complete brain. My brain just went shh.
Women supporting women.
Oh, you're saying, I'm sorry, gap in the market.
Yes.
Yeah, they've tried to fill this gap in the market. Like that Erin Andrews, the sideline reporter, she came out with her own line before. And
who, by the way, I read a Women's Health magazine, and like in Women's Health, she has like a little blurb like about her. I'm fully in support of her. Remember when I was like I was like,
oh, Erin Andrews is the GOAT.
She's amazing, and she like she's battled with IVF. Like I honestly I don't know too much about it. Like, and I cannot really touch on too much of IVF because I've never been through it. I don't really understand, but she had like all these battles with like their surrogate, like lost the baby and all of this stuff. But like now she has her baby, so she's like trying to like celebrate him and his life and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, it's like, I'm like, you are amazing. Like she is just, and like they said in the article, like she's had like the stalking issue, like everything, because she had a really bad stalker, like, ooh, just crazy shit. And now here she is on top. And yesterday during the game, she looked fabulous in that like satin blush, like blazer number. I'm like, okay, you are wearing your color, Erin Andrews. You are wearing your color.
Yeah. I didn't.
Sorry, that was such a sidetrack.
No, I didn't meet her, but I was like probably like as close as we are to her when I was an intern with the Patriots. She was doing the sideline reporting, and I was just an intern with the flag that I was going to wave across the field. So I didn't say anything, but yeah, she's tall.
She seems tall.
She's tall. She's probably around six something.
Wow, model height.
Mm-hmm.
Model height.
Who's she married to? I know she used to be with a hockey player. I don't know if.
I don't know. They mentioned his name, but that's not who I was, really interested in. I'm just interested in her, It doesn't matter who she's married to.
Perfect.
Does it?
No. I don't know what you're trying to ask me. She's just, last point on Erin Andrews, she just started her own podcast not too long ago with Carissa Thompson.
Who's Carissa Thompson?
I don't think you like Carissa Thompson. I think she's the one that does the Amazon one. She's the host of the Amazon.
She's the mean one.
She's not the mean one.
Who's the blonde that's mean?
I don't know.
Not me.
You. You're mean to your co-host. It's literally you. And I think anyone that's listened to more than 2 episodes of this thing knows that. Okay? But we're here. We're fine. My blood pressure is still, my mood's still great, if you couldn't tell.
And I'll come and make a pep talk speech to you.
Okay.
Nathan, you are the greatest co-host, other than me, in this podcast realm. Okay? You are doing amazing. You always bring the best topics for me. You're always so well versed, be it a real statement or sometimes a little lie, a false statement that we don't know is a lie until after we say it.
We don't fact check around here.
We don't fact check around here. It's all fun and games. It's all literally fun and games here.
Right.
That's all we discuss.
Yeah.
So let's go. We're easy breezy. Who cares? Who cares about the Madden game? Because you know what? You're going to save it. And then maybe the next time you'll learn from your mistakes and you'll be even better the next time you play.
Maybe.
Okay?
Maybe not, though.
Yeah, but maybe not. And you know what? Such as life. That's what some people say. Such as life. That's what happens. Not everybody's going to be a winner. And everybody's going to get a trophy except me.
The Cowboys lost. I
didn't say the Cowboys. I said me. As in myself. As in I.
Trophy for what?
For being me. Me for me. It's it's in the works. It's in the talks. It's a special project.
Okay.
Special project.
Well, Speaking of a special project, Justin.
Did that make you feel better?
Yeah. I feel so much better. Like, I'm rejuvenated now. I'm ready to go. Woo! I'm ready to go.
It's the pep talks. They work every time. They're truly magic.
Yeah, no, but thank you for the perfect segue, because you're not the only one working on a special project. Mr. Justin Bieber has been working on a special project. His special project was with the NHL. So for people who don't know, Justin Bieber's he's from Toronto, so he's a huge hockey fan, primarily Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Him and Toronto Maple Leafs star Austin Matthews are literally best friends. So he loves hockey, and he partnered him and his brand Drew House partnered with Adidas and the NHL to collaborate for the 2024 NHL All-Star jerseys, which they believe bring a culturally relevant street collaboration to hockey.
I think that this is so cool. And I also read the same article as you that he made 4 different colorways: a red jersey, blue jersey, yellow jersey, and white jersey, with the largest NHL logo ever on a jersey that's 22 inches high in the full width of the jersey front itself. And each jersey will have a patch on the shoulder to represent each player's team. Obviously, my girl, Hailey Biebs, is pumped. She threw her husband's story up on her own story, saying this is everything, and tagging Justin Bieber and the NHL. And I think that this is so cool, especially for someone who's such a big hockey fan himself. Justin, he has made, back in 2022, the Maple Leaf alternate jerseys for Drew House. So I think it's awesome that he's bringing his own style into a sport that he loves. And I think that the jerseys are just fun. They're fun, they're loud, they're very cartoon-esque, but it's have fun with it. When you have these opportunities to do these all-star collabs and stuff, don't make it boring, all-star whatever. It's NHL with freaking stars. Do an all-star. Bring out the stars, put a star on the jersey.
Right.
I love it.
Right. I think this is incredibly smart in multiple different areas for the NHL. Number one, partnering with someone like Justin Bieber. I mean, you look at the effect that Taylor Swift is having on the NFL. I'm positive that this Justin Bieber thing was in the works before Taylor Swift even came on the NFL's radar, considering the fact, like you just mentioned, him and his brand designed the alternate jerseys last year for Toronto. So obviously this precedes Taylor Swift's relationship with the NFL, but nonetheless, it's very smart for them to partner with a global superstar icon like Justin Bieber. I think Taylor Swift, maybe Drake, are the only other 2 musicians in the world that come close to him right now. Bad Bunny. I can't think of anybody else that can even come close, so extremely smart by them. Number 2, every professional league, doesn't matter what it is, what country it is, but especially in the United States, football, soccer, basketball, baseball, and hockey, they're all struggling with their all-star games. All-star games used to be a big deal. Used to tune in, used to be must-watch TV. But
really?
But now that there's so much money at stake, and people over the years have gotten injured in these games, and stuff like that, they become less competitive, and in turn become less relevant. So all these leagues, NFL included, MLB, NHL, NBA, they all have been adjusting not only the jerseys that they wear, that's just a huge part of them, but the organization of the All-Star games themselves. Do they just do skill competitions? Do they, hockey the last few years did 3-on-3 tournaments rather than having 5-on-5, stuff like that. So
where do you think that it should go? Do you think it should be a real game, or do you think it should just be skill competitions?
I honestly am a sucker for the skill competitions. I don't hate what hockey does with making it 3-on-3, because it's more space in the ice, more goals are scored, all that stuff. My whole thing is that when I watch something like an all-star game or even the skills competitions, I want to get behind a player. I want to cheer for someone. I want to feel a connection to someone. And so I think that's the next step. Where it's maybe one team has a Bruins guy on it, then I'll automatically cheer for that team. But once that Bruins team, that guy with the Bruins team is out, then I lose interest. So I don't know what hockey should do. I think all the leagues should go like steer more towards the skill competitions, just because it allows these players to display certain skills that like most people can't realize on a football field or on an ice rink or a basketball court. But also it most likely will limit injury. So like these players will try their best at what they're doing with not risking injury too much. But another huge part of it is the jerseys. Like all-star jerseys for every sport are sick, and they always have been. Like,
I like it. I was looking into like literally purchasing one. I think that they're very cool. Like I'm like, oh, and like I would have never ever heard of like the all-star jersey, obviously other than from you, unless it was like this Drew House collaboration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. So, do you know anything about his brand, Drew House?
What do I know about it? It's just like it's like a streetwear brand. I know like a couple of my friends have like a couple pieces. It's like all like very big smiley faces and like very cartoony.
So like the big logo and everything on the jersey goes hand in hand with that.
Yes.
Awesome. So you said they have red, blue, yellow, and white. If you had to pick one color, which one would you pick? We'll sit on one. I have my idea.
I know what yours is. Three. Yes, I do.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, I do.
3, 2, 1, yellow.
Told you.
I thought you thought I was gonna say red.
I like the yellow one.
Me too.
I think the yellow one's cool, but you like the yellow one because are the Bruins yellow?
They are, but like I just think that they pop the most.
I think that you also gravitate towards yellow on a hockey jersey. That's what it is. It's your subconscious.
Speaking of my subconscious right now, the Bruins are playing right now. That's another place where my brain's at. Okay, the Bruins are winning 2-0 against New Jersey Devils. I have money on the Bruins. So I just need the Bruins to win, and then we win money.
Oh, perfect. I hope it can pay for the rent here. Rent here at the Double Dose Studios. Speaking of paying for the rent at the Double Dose Studios, look at these fine hats. These are the Drama of Sports Club hats designed by yours truly, herself. And, you know, it has a little bit of our podcast in the back at Double Dose Pod. These hats are available to you now, to everyone now, worldwide at the doubledosepodcast.com. Double D-O-U-B-L-E, dose D-O-S, podcast P-O-D-C-A-S-T, doubledosepodcast.com, where you can get you and yours this amazing hat. Thank you. Moving on,
but staying in hockey. A future NHL All-Star, Gauthier.
What?
Gauthier.
You're saying like Barcelona type of thing, right? Gauthier? Is he from Spain?
No.
Oh.
It's like a French last name. Gauthier. Gauthier?
Gauthier?
Cutter Gauthier? Yes, we're going to go with that. Cutter Gauthier versus...
Is he from France?
He's from the United States. He was part of the World Juniors team, the United States World Juniors.
So it might be Gauthier?
But I think his family is has from French descent.
His first name is Cutter.
Yeah.
Don't think I like that.
Okay, well, we're on Cutter's side. Or at least I am on the situation.
Okay.
Jesus.
I don't like that
name.
Mr.
What was the French way you said it?
Gauthier.
Mr. Gauthier was picked number 5 overall in the 2022 draft, okay, by the Philadelphia Flyers. The way hockey works is you can get drafted but still go back to your college team, or if you're playing juniors in Canada, you can go, or even in Europe, you can go back to your team for 2 to 3 years. But that team that drafts you still owns your draft rights. So Cutter still plays.
Why would they do that and not just go directly
to continue to develop? To continue to develop. So
sometimes they're like, you need to develop more. If they develop less, will they take them off their draft?
Yeah, they can. Yeah,
that's awful. Like if you don't develop enough, you're out.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that in any sport. But that kind of goes to the point of like.
It's kind of like when you get selected in college, though, right? Like in high school for college.
Yeah,
like
you truly never know. Yeah, you truly
keep your grades up and stuff.
Yeah, and you have to keep on getting better, because then, like, let's say me and you, or our conversation later, me and Jamo both got recruited to play football at Endicott, right? For the same position, but like only there was like 18 receivers in our freaking class.
Right.
So like not everyone can play. It's whoever develops more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's similar to it's the same thing at every level for every sport.
Okay, so he got picked.
So he got picked 5th overall. However, he's still playing college hockey at Boston College to this day. He still plays there. But they owned his rights. So time went on, and the Philadelphia Flyers are a team in the NHL. They're at the bottom of the NHL. They're not good. They're doing better this year, but the organization itself is in shambles, and they've gotten new ownership in the last year or so. Maybe not new ownership, I'm sorry, but new executives. Like they got a new guy of hockey operations, Keith Jones. They have a new general manager, Daniel Briere, who's a former Flyers player. And last year they got a new head coach, John Tortorella, who's like a very hard-nosed guy. A lot of people around the NHL don't like him. They think that his coaching style is too aggressive and like too old school. Long story short, this Cutter fellow, when he first was drafted, he was excited to get drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers. But amongst somewhere in the last couple of years, he's decided that he doesn't want to play for Philadelphia. He just doesn't want to. Like, whether it be the team being in shambles, whether it be the city itself, or not wanting to play for the coach, or just the changing of freaking their leadership. He just doesn't want to play there anymore. And so he didn't go to every summer there's supposed to be developmental camps. He didn't go to the developmental camp this summer, but he didn't really say anything. The team didn't really say anything. And then right after the World Juniors, boom, he gets traded, which is what he wanted. And that wasn't the problem. He got traded to Anaheim Ducks for, I don't have it written down, for a very good player. But the story here is that this kid's 19 years old, Cutter. All right? And the Philadelphia Flyers, I think, really showed why he doesn't want to play there. Because they fucking crushed this kid on his way out the door. Like, crushed him. Like, for example, the head coach, John Tortorella, right after he was asked in a press conference, like, how do you feel about the Cutter trade? He says, quote, "I don't know Cutter from a hole in the wall." The general manager, Daniel Briere, said, quote, "He looked at us at the draft and told us that he was built to be a Flyer, wanted to be a Flyer. A few months later, he told us that he didn't want to be a Flyer anymore." The president of hockey operations, Keith Jones, said, quote, "He told us he didn't want to be a Flyer. If you don't want to be a Flyer, then you're not going to be a Flyer." So, they got people, the head coach, all the way up the chain to the chairman, had quotes about this 19-year-old kid just because he didn't want to play hockey for their franchise. And, they demolished him. Hey, guys, maybe the fact that you guys couldn't shut the fuck up about this 19-year-old kid and, everything that you feel he's doing wrong and, crushing him, maybe that's why he didn't want to play for you guys, because you guys are fucking clowns.
I feel the exact opposite of this.
Really?
If a 19-year-old kid is telling me you don't want to play for my team, you want to play for another team, and you're lucky enough that I'm going to draft you and, pick you as my number 5 pick, then you can fucking hit the road.
You're right. You're right.
Then I don't want you. Why would we want you on our team if you don't even want to be on our team? Who the fuck are you? Is basically what they're saying.
Yeah, it's basically what they're saying. And I don't disagree with you. And I don't disagree with you or them on that point. The part I disagree with is being so public about it.
Oh, I'm not at all. Fuck you, kid. What are you trying to do?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You're a 19-year-old nobody. And we're saying that we want to develop you and develop with you, whatever, your skills, whatever. And now you're saying that you're too good for us. Now you're too good to be on the Flyers. Peace off.
Well, the thing is, he's not saying anything. Cutter's not saying anything.
But Cutter is saying that he doesn't want to play for the team.
All that's coming out through these quotes from the team. He never publicly came out. He never spoke to the press and said, "I don't want to play for the Flyers." He just tried to have private conversations with them, explaining that he doesn't want to play for them.
Right, but clearly something went awry here.
Yes,
you know
definitely.
What I mean?
Definitely. I just disagree. I agree with what you're saying, yes. And I agree with what they're saying. If this kid doesn't want to play for us, who the hell is he? Get rid of them. But publicly...
Right, but I also think that they're trying, they're upset, obviously, but they're also bringing, to other teams, who the fuck is this kid saying this? You know what I mean? He's going to go around to your team and probably do the same thing because he's 19 years old.
I disagree. I think it like.
If you were this owner, you would be doing the exact same thing.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I wouldn't be saying it publicly.
19-year-old nobody was literally saying that, like, no way.
I wouldn't be saying it publicly like this. I wouldn't. I'm sorry. Like, this kid's 19 years old. Any of these guys, when they were 19 years old,
they're running a business. They don't care. They are running a business. If you don't want to be a part of the business, then get out of here. That's the whole thing.
So you have to say quotes like you don't know this kid from a hole in the wall. Of course you know who this kid is because you're worked up about it.
Yeah, but obviously they're upset. That's not what he means. But like, no, I would honestly, I would be saying and doing the same thing as the Flyers are doing. Like, okay, bye, go have fun on your other team then. And we don't want you anyway.
But in turn, I think that has a negative impact, like for players that want to go there are probably there right now because they know that their team doesn't have their back.
It's not that. The kid literally said he didn't want to be a Flyer. So if you don't want to be a Flyer, then you're not going to be. That's what they said. That's literally the quote. He told us he didn't want to be a Flyer. If you don't want to be a Flyer, then you're not going to be one. That's like someone coming on the Patriots so upset that they're on the Patriots, whatever, and then literally like, okay, bye. If you don't want to be a Patriot, we don't fucking want you.
Okay, we agreed. I see what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying. I just see that. I think to some degree, like you have to give this kid the benefit of the doubt, considering the fact that this team has been ass for the last few years.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Dysfunctional, and so he doesn't want to step foot in that situation. Now,
right? So then you only want to step foot in it when it's a good thing going. Like, no, you have to stick with the team then. Like, you have to be a part of the team. You have to drink the Kool-Aid, and he's clearly not. So why would they drink it for him?
Because
he's not supporting them blindly, so why would they support him?
No one should support anyone blindly.
No, but I'm saying, like, what you're saying is like, doesn't make sense to me. Like,
no, they should have traded him. They did the right move to trade him.
Right.
The only thing I'm saying is that these types of quotes, I think, they're damaging when you make them public. Like.
Yeah, but that's just like the way it is. It's just like the media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. But it's just like.
Any press is good press.
To me, it's rare that you get like a full comment on any transaction that happens in any sport, right? So the fact that people from the head coach all the way up to the chairman of the freaking team had something to say about this 19-year-old kid. Meanwhile, they're all grown-ass men well over 60 years old.
Yeah, but that's just the nature of the business. It doesn't matter how old they are.
To me, like the Stan Briere character, the general manager, his son got in trouble like not too long ago for throwing some disabled woman's freaking wheelchair.
It seems like you're mad more about external situations and the situation that's going on. Now, he cannot be whatever it's called for the actions of his son. His son is an adult, and that's obviously a horrible thing that his son did, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean he's a bad person because his son did that. His son's his own man.
Fine. All right, we agree to disagree here. I'm on Cutter's side, and will continue to be on Cutter's side, and fuck the Philadelphia Flyers.
I'm not in support of the Philadelphia Flyers.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard you literally have, like, you went on Fanatics before the episode and got freaking stocked up on Philadelphia Flyers.
Fanatics, yeah, that's where I was at. Yeah. That's where I was before this episode.
Yeah. Big Philadelphia Flyers lady.
Huge.
Agree to disagree. We just need to move on. It's a long episode, okay? We still have a guest to come on.
I know.
We can't be sitting over here arguing about the Philadelphia Flyers, okay?
I know, we have no time to waste.
No time to waste. So we're going to move on to Netflix, okay? Netflix announced that they are releasing an NBA version of the Quarterback.
What are they going to call it?
I don't know.
Oh.
But
okay.
Listen to these names that this docuseries will star.
Okay.
This docuseries will star LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, who's like a young superstar, plays for Minnesota, Domantas Sabonis, and Jason Tatum.
I knew Jason Tatum was going to be on the list. I'll watch it solely for Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
I hope Deuce gets on it.
Oh, Deuce is going to have some airtime.
Deuce.
I'm excited to see Anthony Edwards, too. Anthony Edwards is the one that, he's a dude that told that girl, like, he wired her $100,000 to have an abortion.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, he seems like a stand-up guy.
He seems like a character is what he seems like.
I'm excited that they're doing all these like little. I like the insides into
Me too. I love that.
Into like who the player actually is. So
behind the scenes looks.
I will be watching that. I think that I honestly will be more invested in that than the quarterback. The quarterback was just awful.
The quarterback was great. You just had
so bad.
You want to talk about no patience? You had no patience for that.
No, because I didn't like any of the quarterbacks because like I barely knew who anyone was other than Mahomes.
Right. That's why they put these dudes on their show so you can learn to know them.
Didn't need it. Didn't like it. But great. I'm excited for it. When's it coming out? You don't know?
Didn't say.
They just released it just for some talk.
Yeah.
Love that.
They're also doing one for NASCAR.
Don't they do that already?
They do it for the F1. So now they're doing it for NASCAR, which I'm interested to see.
What's the difference between NASCAR and F1?
NASCAR is like
NASCAR?
No, F1's like those like go-kart cars. Like they're like more like it's more global sport. NASCAR is like the cars. Like they look like real cars.
Oh.
NASCAR is what they do at that track by your parents' house.
Daytona 500?
Yeah, that's NASCAR.
Dover Speedway?
NASCAR.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Anything Grand Prix, F1.
Rich.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
And then we have a positive story for you.
I love it.
I was doing this for a little while. I didn't have a good one last week, but I got a great positive story for you. Gary Woodland, former U.S. Open champion for golf.
Okay, don't know him.
He returned to the PGA Tour this past week for the Sony Open in Honolulu, Hawaii. He began his tournament in the 10th tee Thursday morning, and it was the first time since August he's played a professional golf match. He announced on August 30th that he would have surgery on September 18th to remove a lesion growing on his brain. He had a baseball-sized hole cut out of his skull, and just 4 months later, he would return back to golf. So I covered this briefly in passing, but yeah, he announced at the time that in August that he had a lesion on his brain that...
What's a lesion?
Basically like a growth or like a cut.
Size of a baseball?
They had to cut a hole the size of a baseball into his skull to fix the lesion. Yeah, big surgery, big like deal. And I think that I could be wrong, but I think it took like a couple attempts to completely.
Oh my god.
There was a couple setbacks, but the fact that he went through all of that and returned to golf, like
that is insane.
Not only just golf, the PGA Tour level in 4 months is
unheard of.
Nothing less than fascinating.
Go him.
And an amazing story.
I don't have his name in my paper.
Gary Woodland.
Gary Woodland. Go Gary Woodland. Cheers to you, buddy. That's awesome. Hats off. Hats off to you, even though I never do that because my hair looks awful, but Gary deserves it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I get upset about getting out of the bed in the morning.
I get upset about losing a video game.
Yeah, so we should really...
Perspective.
Exactly. Put things in perspective here. Another things that we need to put into perspective are our double D's threes. So our double D's threes, to anyone that is listening that is new here, it's just a little roundup of 3 things that, we're loving, we're feeling, we want to rank, we want to talk about, 3 topics, 3 statements, 3 questions. It could really be 3 of anything that each of us decide.
Could have been 3 annoying Uber drivers.
Right. Just the double D's threes, like 3 of your favorite pairs of shoes that you wear, 3 of your favorite things that you ate in the past week. It could be 3 of anything. And if you have any double D's threes that you would like to share, you would like us to talk about, please, you know where to find us. DM us, email us. You can do wherever you want. You know where to find us. You know how to get in contact with us. But anyway, let's get into ours for the week. Would you like to start off with your double D's threes?
Yes. Mine are my 3 my 3 favorite rookies in the NFL right now.
Okay.
Number 3 is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is a quarterback for the Houston Texans. He's a freaking baller. He's broken basically all the quarterback records for a rookie. So he has a bright future in front of him. And he won his first playoff game this weekend against the Cleveland Browns. And not only did he win, he dominated. So yeah, C.J. Stroud is number 3. Number 2 is Puka Nacua, another rookie who's dominated all year. Once again, broke all sorts of rookie receiving records, and he broke the rookie receiving record for the most receiving yards in a playoff game for a rookie. So he continues to dominate.
And he arguably has the greatest name in the NFL.
By far the greatest name in the NFL.
Nacua.
And he's just dominant, and he's just seems like a fun, happy guy. He seems like a fun, happy guy, He just exudes like positivity and like just happiness. And so for that, I love Puka Nacua. And number 1, he had a short stint this year, but I'm excited to see what the future holds for him, Mr. Christian Gonzalez.
Oh my God.
He's a catalyst in the future of the Patriots, and there's not many things that we can be happy about or be positive about, but he's one of them.
For the Patriots?
For the Patriots. Those are my 3 favorite NFL rookies in the 2023 season.
Christian Gonzalez literally played how many games?
6. And he dominated all 6.
Oh, okay. All right.
He stopped Tyreek Hill. Okay. He stopped Jalen Waddle.
Where is he now?
He stopped Garrett Wilson.
Where is he?
He's rehabbing, okay?
Why? What'd he do?
Huh?
I don't remember.
I think he broke his
out.
collarbone.
Okay. Whew. Hard.
Ty broke his collarbone one time. You ever seen Ty scar of his collarbone?
No, my dad broke his collarbone once when he got hit by a car, but that's neither
Yeah,
here
you
nor
almost
there.
got... It doesn't surprise me that an Eden would get hit by a car because I have to save you from getting hit by a car at least twice a week.
No, I'm
The other day, your sister, it was after medieval times, your sister was dropping you off. Her and Neil were very nice enough to drop us off to where we were going. You stopped by your friend Lauren's house for Secret Santa. Then they dropped me off at Tom and Jules' house for football. But you were getting out of the car to go to Lauren's house, and you just get out of the car and start walking across the street. And take no. You almost got buried. The car had to come to a screeching halt. You still didn't notice. You still didn't notice.
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And then I forget which day it was this weekend, but we were just crossing the street, la-di-da-di-da, and you just go, and I literally grab you. I think we're on the way to Trader Joe's, and I literally grab your arm and pull you back in the street as a car comes whizzing by. And you're like, gee, thanks. I would have never seen that car coming. And I'm like, no shit.
Yeah, but sometimes I need you to look. Sometimes I look out for you too. It's the same way. Like sometimes I'm freaking hand barring you too. I'm like, whoa, okay, it just happens. Just such is life again. Okay.
I love you.
Yeah, sure. Well, let's get into my double D's threes here. Thank you for saving my life because I almost got buried by another car or whatever.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. That's why keep me around.
So last week you loved so much that I did the best moments from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City as my double D's threes. And it just got me thinking. I was like, why not do it again, you know? So this week, my double D's threes I have written down are I wouldn't even say the top 3 ways. I would just put the ways that the Real Housewives is like the NFL. So I wrote down some things here. 1, they both have seasons where new people come on and old people leave. So that was one of the first things that you told me on literally probably episode 1 of this podcast where it blew my mind. We're like, it's seasons just like the Real Housewives. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. Like, people come, people go. People come, people go.
Continuous.
Number 2, they both do interviews or confessionals talking about their actions and plays. So they do interviews with the press, you know what I mean? And in Real Housewives, they do confessionals. Why did they act this way? Why did they do certain things in certain situations? And they have to break it down. They have to self-reflect. So they're really just self-aware, you know? Number 3, I feel like there's 6 on here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm doubling the double D's threes.
Right.
Number 3, they both get glam. The NFL players wear like outfits when they walk in, and the Real Housewives are always just like in glam. They're always showing up to events, and they're best of the best here.
Love it.
Number 4, they both get brain damage. Football from hitting each other. Real Housewives from listening to each other.
Jeez, sounds good.
Number 5, they all recycle through exes. You know, they date the same people. And
How does that? What about sports? What does it mean? What do you mean?
like sometimes like one player is dating a girl and then she'll go and date another NFL player.
Oh, Olivia Culpo.
Exactly.
Danny Amendola to Christian McCaffrey.
Exactly. And this isn't like a six comparison as much as it is a statement where I wrote it in all caps. And this is literally what I wrote. I low-key feel like the NFL should have a reunion where the team gets together and talks about every game and airs it on TV on what they could have done better, like how they do with Andy. You You know what I mean?
That's smart. That's smart.
Like how they get together, they have like some of the key players, and they kind of just go through the season. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I agree.
In like a more casual setting, like a podcast setting or something like that. People are talking about it. So.
Love it.
Thank you.
I love your double D's sixes.
Yeah. You're welcome. So I make my own rules here.
I love it.
In this house.
Why?
In this studio.
No problem. Our bosses won't get mad.
Yeah, I don't think the boss will get mad at me.
No.
So. All right. Well, it's time.
It's time
to get into our sick puppy and interesting cat segment of the week.
So, for those of you who are new to the podcast, I have a theory, okay? And I think you would agree with this theory, where there's two types of people in this world. Everyone that you know, including yourself, will fall somewhere on the spectrum. One side of the spectrum being sick puppy, meaning this person's an absolute sick puppy. Think like Donald Trump, sick puppy. Interesting cat. Think Joe Rogan being an interesting cat. So like they fall somewhere along the middle. So each week we come to
examples.
Huh?
What examples? Each week, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Each week.
Each week we'll give you one sick puppy and one interesting cat. It's just that simple. Any questions, concerns, comments? Besides,
can you give another example of a sick puppy and interesting cat?
Yeah. So sick puppy, you.
Interesting cat.
Me.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Perfect.
Sick puppy is someone that like they don't really think about. They don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Like they just do. They just do it. They just do it. Like,
they don't think, they just do.
You can't tell a sick puppy how to act.
Right.
Like they're just gonna do.
They don't think, they just do. And an interesting cat, they don't do. They just think.
Yes. Or maybe I think the interesting cat has turned more into like my original thought of it when I like use it in like real life terms. I think of like a deep thinker. Mm-hmm. However, sometimes it can be like our interesting cat today is like just like an interesting move. Like yikes.
Right. Interesting
like,
things.
What are you thinking?
Right.
Here?
Like what's happening here?
Yeah. Like
it's very interesting.
Yeah. Like I can't wrap my head around that. Like
Got it.
I don't know.
I think you did a fabulous job explaining.
Thank you. Without further ado, sick puppies, people that do not give a flying. What is that buzzer from?
It could be literally from anything.
Basketball.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was the basketball buzzer.
Basketball buzzer in Miami, as the sick puppies of the week are the Miami Heat.
Oh.
Collectively, the organization. You're supposed to ask why.
Why?
Oh, it's because they waited until their head coach, Eric Spoelstra's divorce was finalized before signing him to his 8-year, $120 million extension.
I saw that.
Okay, so this man has been going through a divorce. Don't know how long. Doesn't really matter. The key part of it is that the team waited till the divorce was finalized for 3 months before they inked his new contract extension. That's a sick puppy move. That's looking out for the boys. That is looking out for your own. That is sick puppy energy, and I'm here for it.
Because now his ex-wife can't come after it? Is that why?
Exactly. If they gave it to him, if they agreed to an extension before the divorce was finalized, it's while he's still married. So she is subject to half of that money. But since they waited till after the divorce was finalized, it's all his, baby.
The wife must be seething. The wife must be so mad.
She must be livid.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I always wonder. This actually made me wonder because we just caught up with Real Housewives of Miami. Do you think like Eric Spoelstra, his ex-wife, like, do you think they go in the same circles as some of these Real Housewives of Miami?
I would enjoy
people?
that if they brought in some like NHL, any
NBA?
NBA, any athletic, whatever. Like I would enjoy that.
They're doing that in Beverly Hills with Marcellus Wiley's wife.
They're doing it in Miami with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
That couple we've covered too much in this podcast.
I know.
Moving on. Interesting cat. This was sent to me by none other than Edwino De Silva, Mr. Eddie. Fabulous fabulous content here from Eddie. Thank you for this interesting cat.
Thank you, Edwino.
Sadio Mane, soccer star, formerly of Liverpool, now plays in Saudi Arabia with Cristiano Ronaldo. Married an 18. By the way, he's 31. Married an 18-year-old by the name of Aisha Tamba. Aisha, 18, married the 31-year-old former Liverpool forward in an Islamic arranged marriage ceremony in Kur Masar on January 7th. The arranged marriage instantly caused a stir on social media, with Aisha now set to swap her life living with up to 30 relatives in Senegal for living with Mane in Saudi Arabia, where he plays for Al Nassr alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. So, yeah, I mean...
Wait, so she's leaving her life of living with 30 relatives? Is that what you're saying?
So she's going from living with 30 relatives in Senegal, like they all live together.
Okay. To
living a luxurious lifestyle in Saudi Arabia.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Why is this so interesting? Because
he's 31 and she's 18.
Is it arranged?
It's arranged.
So that's kind of crazy. Good for her, though. She lucked out in the best way. If there's any type of arranged marriage, this is the arranged marriage that you want. This is the one that you dream of.
Yeah, I'm saying,
this is one you hope for. She was praying right. She was praying right. They were arranging the right way.
What's that comedy bit where it's like you have to be like specific about your wishes?
About
manifesting.
Kamala Harris, that Joe Biden was not as specific in his prayers to God. He said that he wanted to be the president. They didn't say when or how or whatever. So he kept running. Now finally he is. But Kamala Harris, the first time she ran, here she is as the VP. Because she was very thorough about her prayers because she was a lawyer and she got her shit together.
But yeah, the interesting cat isn't Aisha. The interesting cat's Sadio Mane. Like, an arranged marriage, you hold all the cards here, whether it be an arranged marriage or not. You're 31 years old. What are you doing marrying an 18-year-old? Interesting move. No matter how you cut it. No matter how you look at it.
I mean, it's an arranged marriage. It's definitely interesting, but like...
I'll tell you what, his parents were one part of the arranging. He was the only person on his side of the things that was arranging anything.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to. Maybe he needed the arranged marriage because he wanted to like come back to his religion a little bit, like into his like headspace that he knows. Maybe he needed some grounding.
Perhaps. Either way, it's interesting to me.
Yeah, it is interesting.
And that's a Sick Puppy Interesting Cat of the Week.
Love it. Thank you so much.
So we're going to cover the football games with Mr. Jameson, along with the Bill Belichick New England Patriots of it all, because I know everyone's dying for my opinion. So we're going to do that. But some other thing, so we're going to, all of my things that you may have missed is football related, so I assume that we're going to cover them in that conversation. But things to watch, aside from football, Bill Belichick watch, and the coaching carousel, UFC 297s this weekend. Sean Strickland versus Duplessis. These are the two fellows that got in a fist fight in the stands, the last UFC pay-per-view.
Oh, perfect.
So they're fighting for real inside the cage this
Thank
Saturday.
God they're going to get paid for it this time around.
Exactly. So that happens Saturday. But I think now's a good time to kick it to Mr. Jameson. What do you think?
Let's do it. Let's kick it over. Thank you guys so much for listening to episode 69 of your favorite sports drama podcast. Let's keep it going with our very, very special guest, Jameson Kraft.
Joining us now is an absolute legend, currently living in the Worcester area, but Gardner High School Hall of Famer. Isn't that right?
That is correct.
The most recent member of the Gardner Athletics Hall of Fame. He led his high school in rushing yards with 4,268. Also in touchdowns, all-time leader with 66 touchdowns. Had a great career at Endicott College where he had 52 receptions for 532 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's currently older and married now. And now he's slinging software at HubSpot. Another fun fact about this gentleman is that we were roommates for 3 years in school. Really 4. My freshman year, I was in his room every day. Welcome, Jameson Kraft.
Woo!
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. It's amazing we didn't kill each other in those 3 years in college, but here we are.
How was I as a roommate?
Honestly, I don't have many complaints other than you eating beef stew off of the plate.
No, it's some things that he does are really there's no words for it. There's truly no words.
Yeah.
You're just like, that's just the way he operates, you know? It's like, oh, okay.
You really got screwed in the fact that I had a horrible snoring problem. Like
So did
snoring.
I. So it doesn't.
But I'd be sleeping before you.
That's true. That was always my thing. Is I was always the last one awake, so no one had to deal with my snoring for the most part.
The first one to sleep and the last one to wake were literally the roommates. Yeah. Like I couldn't think of anything worse.
Yeah, and I got my tonsils taken out literally 2 weeks after we were done being roommates.
Oh man. Well, welcome. We have to admit that we did record this entire podcast yesterday with Mr. Kraft, but due to technical difficulties that are not a stranger here at the Double Dose Studios, we were unable to even upload any of it. So here we are again. We're running it back for part 2, take 2.
Nothing wrong with that.
Of this, you know.
Second time's a charm.
Exactly.
Second time's a charm.
First is the worst. Second is the best, and that's why I'm a younger child.
Why is that?
First is the worst. Second is
the
best.
We're all second children here.
See?
Second child. Let's go.
Meant to be second child lifestyle.
Only way to be.
Right.
Then our parents, each one of our parents, gave up after us.
Yeah, because they were like, perfection. That's it. What else do you need?
Yeah, there's no more to do after they have us.
And thank you again for this incredible hat that you're wearing, the Drama of Sports Club merchandise that is also available to anyone else who wants to purchase it at thedoubledosepodcast.com. You look fabulous in this.
I appreciate that.
Black and white.
Look, I feel like I rock it pretty well, and yeah, for those who haven't gone out and purchased one, you should go do so right now. Pause the podcast, purchase it.
Yes,
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. I could see it on a billboard. I could see you on the billboard. Times Square.
I'll take it.
Anyways, the reason why we're having Mr. Jameson on is because
we needed Kraft.
We needed Kraft's opinion on what the hell is going on in New England, in Foxborough, at One Patriots Place.
So let's set this up first by saying, how long have you been a Patriots fan? How did you become a Patriots fan to have all this back knowledge on what that they should do next? You know, other than, of course, being a part owner in the team.
Yeah, right. I've been a Patriots fan for as long as I can remember. Born and raised in Massachusetts, so been Boston sports, Massachusetts sports through and through. I'd say my earliest recollection of like when I became a fan was probably the Raiders snow game, the whole controversy, the tuck rule. Obviously that led to us winning the Super Bowl. So it's been success. There it is. Nate's rocking the shirt. It's been success as long as I can remember. So these past couple of years have been a little bit different, and it's taking some getting used to understanding what it's like to be on the other side of the fence and be a normal NFL franchise.
Yeah, well, it's something that we're definitely not used to, and it's like at least I've gained a different appreciation for other fans of other teams, especially our Jets. We have a lot of friends that are Jets fans, and I don't know how the hell they're still dealing with it. So I'm about to lose my mind after a few years. Jamo, you and I went to Tom Brady's last game at Gillette. We did not know at the time it was going to be Tom Brady's last game because we expected them to win and continue on in the playoffs that year. However, they lost that game to the Tennessee Titans. And you touched on it, but the team has done nothing but go downhill since then, to say the least. What's your current opinion on the state of the Patriots? What do you feel like they need to do? What do you think about the team?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying when we recorded this the first go around, I think that obviously there's been a lot that's gone on since Tom Brady's left. At the time, we talked a little bit about the Brady versus Belichick thing. At the time, I was fully on board with we still got Belichick. In Belichick, we trust. Whatever he does, he's going to put us in the right position to might not be right away. It might be 2 or 3 years, but obviously that time has passed and then some, and we've frankly only gotten worse. So I think there's a lot that needs to happen over the next couple of years. I think that we're looking at a multi-year rebuild. We have a good defense. Most of the problems are on offense, but yeah, there's just a lot of dysfunction, it seems, in the organization. And obviously with Belichick leaving now, there's a lot of question marks.
So you think that this is like a multi-year thing? Like, you don't think next year they're going to come out and be like a good team? Like, it's a whole organization thing? It's the players? Like,
I think it's unrealistic to think that we would go from where we're at this season to being a playoff team. Now, that being said, like, we had a really good defense this year without not even arguably, our best defensive player in Matt Judon and a big piece in Christian Gonzalez. So having those two folks back, I think our defense is going to be really good. We could potentially see like a Browns type situation if our defense is that good, and our defense can win games for us despite our offense. But I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen on the offensive side of the ball, and it's going to take multiple years, multiple drafts to get that side right.
Yeah, I think the team that's done it the best the past couple of years is probably the Texans, right? Where they were drafting second last year and got Stroud, but even in that case, they had 2 top 10 picks. They got Will Anderson as well, right? So it's like,
yep, and both of those players have been instrumental in their success. Obviously, they hit a home run with those 2 picks, which is like very unheard of. Usually, even if you have 2 picks that high, you're going to strike out on one of them. But yeah, I mean, kudos to them. They did a good job.
Yeah, CJ Stroud's an absolute monster, and you have him in your dynasty team, so in our dynasty league. So
yeah.
that's
He's a beast.
Bad news for everybody else in the league.
So who do you think would be a good like first round pick or whatever for the Patriots? Because they obviously have, what's the number that they have? Number 2, number 3?
3.
Yeah,
they have the 3rd pick. In classic Patriots fashion, we'll talk about what we think they should do, but in all reality, they're probably going to trade back and take like a tackle, which they do need a tackle. But if it were me, I've kind of flip flopped. Originally, I was saying they should take Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's the most sure thing
right now.
He's in college, coming out of Ohio State. He's probably the most sure thing. Obviously, who knows what will happen, but he's one of the most sure thing wide receivers that is coming out of the draft in recent years. And given their track record of drafting wide receivers over the past couple of years, I want them to take a sure thing wide receiver that I know is going to be good. That being said, I think there's a lot of good wide receivers that we can get later in the draft, and maybe we go quarterback. I think one way, no matter how you slice it, we need wide receiver and quarterback in our top like 2 or 3 picks.
I agree.
So depending on how the chips fall, I'm a big fan of Jaden Daniel. I know you are too, Nate. I don't know too much about Drake May. Caleb Williams will probably be gone at that point anyways by the 3rd pick. So, yeah, I don't know. It's either you go Harrison Jr. at the 3rd pick and then hope to get like Penix later on in the 2nd round, or vice versa. You go with Jaden Daniels and try to get a receiver.
Who's the person that makes the decision on who gets the pick? Like, is it Mr. Kraft, or like, is it
it's a
you?
good question.
Like, is it you, Mr. Kraft?
That's a great question, and that's part of the problem is like right now all that stuff is up in the air, and it's like in the past they didn't even really have a GM. Sometimes they had a GM and like Belichick overruled the GM. So like, are they rolling that back and saying Gerard Mayo's making the final call? Really, they have like 2 people right now that could be making those types of decisions, and it lends itself to them having like a power dynamic struggle on who's making the final call, which is like, again, dysfunction in the organization that needs to be righted, in my opinion. But I don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah, I think that whole dysfunction piece is a huge concern. And like, I saw a report today where they offered both of Belichick's sons position, like offers to stay with the offensive.
Why?
Just staying on the coaching staff. Like, why? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you mentioned it yesterday.
Wait, his sons are staying on?
The Patriots made him offers to stay.
Why wouldn't they go to where their dad's going?
That's probably what's going to happen. But that's why it's crazy that the Patriots even gave them an offer.
It's not like they've done anything to like show that they're these awesome coaches either. And
Right.
like we talked about it yesterday, but it feels like they're just like, I made the analogy of like a kid that doesn't want to eat his vegetables, just moving the food around his plate to make it look like he ate it. Like, It feels like we're just keeping everything the same and just like shuffling things internally to like make it look like we're doing things, but we're not doing anything to make a change.
Right. And you said it yesterday. You said basically they're halfway in and halfway out, and it's just like, I think that's just not realistic or a good idea. I think the worst thing you can do in sports is like be stuck in the middle of any decision.
Right.
And like I hate relating back to the conversation we had yesterday because no one knows it, but like it's every team or every, like, whether it be work, like sports, like group projects in like school, everyone has to know what their role is so that the team can execute. Like, there has to be
There's always a group leader.
Right.
I usually pick that one because I didn't really like to do a lot of the work.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I was not
like
the group leader.
I was more about, I'm going to put clip art on the end of the presentation and then be like, this looks fire flames. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's where
Give
I
me
was
an
at.
easy job. Give me an easy
like,
job. I'll check it off the box.
I'm boosting morale. I am making sure the presentation looks good. But am I actually sitting down to do the work? Am I going to be picking the picks in the draft? No. Okay? I need a yes or no. I'm swiping left and right.
My favorite, speaking of school projects in Jamo, sorry to digress, but my favorite Jamo story was when you know what I'm going to say?
I think so.
The Adidas.
Oh, no, that's a different story. I thought you were going to say my thesis. Like, I was supposed to present it, and I just didn't show up to the presentation.
Wait, what? So did you fail the class?
No, so I handed in my thesis paper, and then like a few students in the class got like selected to like make a poster board and stand in front of it, and like people would walk around and look at your thesis. You'd talk to them about it, but
That's amazing.
It wasn't part of the grade, and it was like after kind of like towards the end of the school year, and like all my friends were like, we were out drinking and hanging out, and I just like skipped it and made one of my friends stand near my poster.
Oh my god!
Was it Redmond?
Talk about being a GM.
Shout out Taylor.
Shout out to Taylor.
Taylor,
you are a real one. For real. Like, this is amazing. Thank you, Taylor, because if not for Taylor, who knows what would have happened, you know?
Yeah, I think I said I had internship, which I didn't, and I just didn't
An internship
show.
At the bar. You were due for some unpaid work there.
Yeah.
The story I was thinking about was we had a sustainability class, and we had actually assigned brands based on our major that like we had to look at like their sustainability of their business. And Jamo got I got Nike, he got Adidas, and he basically like we were supposed to like peer reviewed articles to like critique their practices. And Jamo, the professor didn't like how Jamo got most of his information from the Adidas website, and so he was not happy. The cross-eyed fellow was not happy.
Yeah, that guy was a loser.
That guy was a lunatic.
That's
Do
him.
you know why they call it lunatic? I heard this on a
Why?
podcast today.
Enlighten me.
Because back in the day, the people that thought that they could go to space, that's the way they would call them crazy. That you're a lunatic, lunar. You're out in space.
All right, well,
You can go to the moon.
we're all lunatics here, or always
The
in
more
outer
you know.
space seeing you. I'm done.
Back on track.
Well, you guys seem to have a lot of, little stories together, but how many Patriots games, how many Boston related things have you guys been to together?
A couple
What's
of
the most
Patriots games.
memorable?
Couple Patriots games.
We went to another Patriots playoff game where they won. It was me, you, and DJ.
Yep. And then
Was
there
that also against the Titans?
that one may have been against the Chiefs when they had Alex Smith and Mahomes was the backup.
Possible. Yeah.
I think.
That,
The
some
way
Bruins
that
games.
boys, I swear to God, can reference these games and then literally tell you exactly who is in, what the yardage was, whatever, and cannot remember simple things, okay?
Like
It
what?
is so, no, just like simple, oh, hey, can you do, oh, I completely forgot, or, oh, when's this? Oh, I have no idea. Isn't that like, and you can literally be like, oh, that's the game in 1984. Drew Brees is the quarterback. He threw for 87 yards and whatever.
The same goes for girls with like Bravo shows and like Real Housewives and like all that stuff.
Okay, I can reference everything. Now, may not be correct.
Girls are better than boys. What do you want me to say?
That's right. Girls, go to Mars and boys go to Jupiter, right? Isn't that the thing?
I'm
Jupiter?
Yeah, to get stupider.
I'm still on I'm still on the moon. I'm still in my fun fact.
You're in Lunarville over there. What's the most memorable game that you guys have been to together?
Probably that the most memorable for bad reasons is that Patriots loss, but the most memorable, one of the good Patriots games, it wasn't with Nate, but it was a snow game where the Patriots played the Titans again, where they scored like 55 points or something like that. Brady did they flea flicker. It was awesome. That was one of my favorite games.
A big snow game guy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, relevant after that Buffalo Bills game.
Yeah, I recently went to my
snow
first
game
snow
with
game.
the Jets.
Yes, and
Yeah,
honestly,
how was it?
I liked it, except for the fact that my hood got frozen because the snow was like on it, and then it got hot, and then it was not hot, I mean, by any means, but maybe like 33 degrees instead of 32, and so like my hood was literally like hard. It was like because it was frozen.
At least it was if you fell.
I have to admit that before that game, I was in, I think is it the Putnam box? Whatever the box is where you can like go inside and outside. So I was able to go inside like in between quarters and warm up.
Mr. Kraft.
Yeah, I was sitting with my uncle, Mr. Kraft.
Yeah, I was gonna say your uncle.
Yeah. I wish.
Have you ever met him?
I have not. No relation. Completely different spelling. Yeah. Nope.
Damn.
Well, where do you think Belichick goes? He I saw they interviewed with the Falcons yesterday or earlier today. Do you think he ends up there? Or do you think he keeps his options open for a little bit to see how like some other cards play out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of torn. Like, obviously, there's been a lot of speculation around the Falcons. They have a pretty good roster. Obviously, there's been some stuff about the Cowboys. I just don't see how him and Jerry Jones would coexist. I think like they have the most like Super Bowl ready roster. They have a lot of talent, but I just can't picture him and Jerry Jones like existing together in any capacity for like more than a year. So I don't know if that would happen.
Isn't his thing like he wants to get the wins or whatever though? So like wouldn't he get all of his record wins with the Cowboys? Or are the Falcons good? Like I don't even know.
The Falcons are good. They're in a pretty weak division. So I can see that like they're a pretty well run organization. They have a lot of talent. They're probably a quarterback away from being a really good team. The Cowboys, frankly, like have a roster that you could just roll out and win a Super Bowl with the right coach. So from a strictly like football perspective, I could see that working. I just, again, like, and maybe it's the case where like he's okay with giving up total control, like the rumors of him and Kraft saying, he was willing to not have full like personnel control. Maybe he just wants to coach and like not worry about the other stuff. And maybe that relationship works, but I don't know. It seems like they would butt heads, him and Jerry Jones.
Yeah, they would definitely butt heads. I think, like you said, I think it could work for a year, but I think that honeymoon phase would go away quickly. And he better get those 15 or 16 wins, however many he needs in that 1 year because he would not be returning because that would be an absolute shitstorm. Especially because like the fact like Jerry Jones has a weekly radio spot, and Kraft never spoke to the media, so like he would hate the fact that he has the owner giving his 2 cents to the media every single week, and like
maybe he wants to change things up. Maybe he wants to change things up. Maybe he wants to, you know. Yeah, I don't really understand what's happening with our thumbs up. That's like something on like FaceTime does, but for whatever reason we're getting thumbs up here, and maybe it's a sign from the universe. Like,
yeah, it's good sign.
Maybe it's Bill Belly coming in saying, "You're right, folks."
Do you want him as a Dallas Cowboys fan? Do you want him?
You know, I never really like with Mr. Michael McCarthy. I never pay attention to the coaches really, other than like purely looks and like their aesthetic. Like I like McDaniels because I think that he's a wackadoo, and I think that he wears capri pants, and that's crazy to me. I like Saleh because I think he's cute. He has
18 kids.
Yeah, well, he's cute, so that's equaling. You know, the math is mathing there. The Lions head coach guy who used to be an NFL player, he's way too intense for me, but I could understand how the boys like him.
It's working.
The Andy Reid man, he just seems like a holly jolly grandpa, so like would love to, you know, give him a hug.
I'm impressed by how many you're naming.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go through my list here.
You like Vrabel?
Vrabel, I like, but I liked him as a Patriots player. I don't know him as a coach. Like, I don't know these men as coaches. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to learn the players.
Yeah, coaching is one of those things where you really only hear about coaches when they're doing something either really good or really bad. So it makes sense.
Right.
And I haven't even seen the effect that like how you guys like know like, oh, this is a good coach, this is a bad coach. Like, I don't know the effects of like what they're doing or what they're not doing that would make them a good or bad coach.
Yeah, but don't sell yourself short. You just named freaking 8 head coaches.
But based stylistically, like I can see them in my head in their outfits.
Yeah, but
that's what I see. That's what I see. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
I'm trying to think of and the Eagles guy,
Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, but he grew out his beard, and I don't like the fact that he grew out his beard because he looks older with it. And I'm like, keep it young.
What about the
like
visor
red.
look? Do you like the visor look on the sideline?
The visor scares me. You know, because it's like as an older gentleman, I feel like that's a sore spot, you know, that top of the crown of the head. So it's interesting to me why they would want to showcase it, especially if their hair is a little longer and it like flips over that side, like that top part of the visor. Like, there's nothing that grosses me out more than like looking at a man that has that. And in fact, we went to that snow game that I was just talking about, the Patriots against the Jets, and the man in 2 rows in front of us had a comb over looking thing on his head with a visor on. I mean, this man's bald spot was so red, and I'm like, put a beanie on, dude. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't get why you're doing it. I'm literally like, this guy is so cold. Like, I don't understand. Like, why would you wear a visor to a snow game? Like, what is that helping? Because
he's wearing a Rusioni jersey and a freaking visor.
The snow is getting in your eyes. Like, it's not helping at all. Like, it's not keeping anything off of you. Like, and it's on your fucking cold, bald head. Like, put a beanie on.
It only makes sense.
Like, it's okay.
Maybe it's his lucky apparel.
I mean, it might be his lucky apparel. It has to be.
Did you see the dude that was in the stands at I think it was the Chiefs game, that was like shirtless, screaming in the crowd, and apparently was like hospitalized with hypothermia?
I'm sure. Well, speaking of that freaking game, we didn't even touch on it. But I'm very, very, very upset with the NFL regarding that game, because I think that It's so fucked up. You're putting players in a condition that is literally unsafe. Like, then you go out there and fucking stand out there. Like, that is literally not safe for these players to be in. It's negative, like, 20-something feels like degrees. Like, that is insane. You should not be outside playing a sport. You should not. You postpone it. You could injure these players.
You got people out there on the field wearing like no like sleeves and stuff, so I think they're all right. But I'm of the mindset of like I think we might need to just get with the times, and like cold weather teams should just have domes so that the product on the field is just like the product on the field instead of like a watered down version. Like you have the Miami Dolphins. I get that it's a home field advantage to those teams that are hosting those cold weather games, but like no one wants to see the Dolphins look like that on offense in a playoff game.
But no one even wants to play in that.
No one wants to go to the games either.
Even Ezekiel, whatever, Elliott, who used to play for the Cowboys, who's on the Patriots, said that he'd always dreamed of playing in a snow game as a kid, but then once it started to come around, he's like, it's not as good as it looks. Like, it's not as fun. Like, first of all, it's cold. The ground is like a freaking sheet of ice. I'm sure like getting hit at that Patrick Mahomes fucking helmet cracked. Like, that is not safe conditions. Get these boys inside.
Yeah, if the Rydell helmet can't stay,
right? Then how you know?
I saw another quote from Tom Brady that was saying he always loved playing in the cold because everyone else slowed down and his brain worked just as fast, and he was able to process things quicker.
You know him, but he's a fucking wackadoo.
He is the greatest human being of all time.
Of all time.
Do you really think that he is like the greatest football player of all time, like the GOAT?
Without a doubt. Yeah, human. Yeah, better than any other football player. That's not even questionable.
I know your stance on this.
Yes, I am a person that took Belichick's side at the beginning of this entire breakup, and to this day I regret it because I took the greatest athlete of all time for granted. And
the thing is that we don't need to take sides.
We don't.
We had a 20-year stretch of the greatest dynasty of all time, and that was a cohesive unit of Brady, Belichick, and Kraft. And right. We don't have to pick sides. We just can enjoy that for what it was. And obviously now as it shakes out, you know, we can have our thoughts and opinions, but I don't think it takes away from anything of that dynasty and how dominant they were.
I think it's a dumb debate. I think it's a dumb debate because it's lightning in a bottle. You got everyone working together in the perfect way possible, and it worked for an extremely long time, and you'll probably never see it again.
You can't even say it was a dumb debate because we've debated it so many times, and the way that Jamo has just put it was just so beautiful.
Eloquent.
And so, like, I mean, mature. You know what I mean? Like, he's saying, like, look at, like, and you are all here ready to place blame on everybody else. And now all of a sudden, Jamo says one thing. Mr. Kraft says one thing, and he's like, oh, it's a dumb debate.
Don't get me wrong.
We debated it so many times.
All we do is debate dumb shit. So like, I'm all for debating dumb shit, but at the end of the day, we were lucky enough to have the greatest coach 100%. Of all time and the greatest quarterback of all time. And like we're splitting hairs over who was better and who deserves more credit. At the end of the day, they both needed each other. Like, I'm sure they both would have been successful without each other, but they wouldn't have had the run that they had without both of those two working together. So
I agree. Brings up another point, another theory that I have. Want to get your opinion on this? I don't think that like dynasties can last more than 3 championships at a time. Like the Patriots were 3 at a time, the Lakers were 3 at a time, the Bulls, they had 3 at the beginning, 3 at the end. Like the Warriors even. Like I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, we had 2 separate dynasties basically.
Right.
In one.
Right.
Do you think that just players and stuff?
I think player turnover, ego. Like there's when you
Yeah,
have
like I think if you look at the Patriots run of like 20 years, it's like crazy to have the same like core, like even just Brady and Belichick and like some players that lasted through multiple of those championships. That's rare in of itself. But if you look at like the teams of some of those different championships, you have like very different rosters and very different like critical players, which is a testament to Brady and Belichick being able to like fit in those pieces and continuously like create these completely different teams that were just as successful, in my opinion.
Well, speaking of championships and everything, who do you think is the next Boston team to win a championship? Is it the New England Patriots, the Boston Bruins, the Boston Celtics, or the Boston Red Sox?
Or the New England Revolution.
Or the New England Revolution.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nate, but I don't pay attention to soccer, so I think that it's an easy answer for me. I think it's the Boston Celtics. I think close second would be the Bruins, but I think that it's a lot harder to win in the NHL, to win a championship in the NHL, even if you have the best roster in the league. There's more left up to chance. You can get a hot goalie. It's just harder to win a Stanley Cup than it is an NBA championship. So I would say the Celtics. I think the Red Sox and Patriots are pretty far away at this point to their next championship. So we'll have to put all our eggs in the Celtics and Bruins.
Perfect.
Do you think this year is the Celtics' year?
I do. I have a pretty hefty future on them winning the championship. So I'm hoping they hoist banner 18 this year. I'm sure I'll go to a few playoff games and I'll be cheering them on.
There is nothing like a playoff run. I am craving, after like the disappointment of this football season, and like the Red Sox aren't even a conversation.
But the Revolution are.
The Revolution, they made it to the playoffs at least. If their coach didn't get fired in the middle of the year for reasons that they still haven't even explained, they would have made a serious run, but they just canned that guy for no reason.
I couldn't tell you a single player on the New England Revolution.
Me either, because we never discuss it.
But regardless, I forgot what I was going to say.
You're craving a championship run.
Thank you. I'm craving a championship
run.
Thank
God for Jamo, because he's two friggin' boneheads over here.
I was going to say, Nate, if you're looking for someone to go to a game with, once the Bruins and Celtics are in the playoffs, I'm your guy.
Wow, look at that. We got Kraft in the house.
Lock it in.
Pull your connections with, all the football people.
Last year I was dying for the Rangers and the Bruins to meet in the playoffs, and both teams ended up losing that series. So it didn't come to fruition, but
maybe this year, maybe second time's a charm, just like this pod.
This is the year. There's nothing better than when we're in the swing of the playoffs and it's like you got the Bruins and Celtics just every other night, and every night you have a playoff game to watch. It's like the best thing on the planet.
Oh, wow.
Best thing ever.
This sounds really exciting for me. During that week, I'll be taking a personal vacation.
You and Vanessa can hang out.
Exactly.
I'll be taking just as much.
A personal vacation. I'll be somewhere off in a distant land, maybe the bedroom, and we watching my Bravo shows in there.
That's not true. You're going to watch the games with me. You need too much attention to go in the bedroom. Does Vanessa watch the games with you? Let's say, like, how many games are you watching a week, and does she watch any of them with you?
I would say if she is with me on the couch, she's not really watching. She's usually just glued to her phone and waiting for the game to be over so we can watch like a show together. I watch most of the games when I can if I'm not like doing something else, but she's not a fan of watching the games.
Fun fact, I found a hack. Like we'll put Bravo on, I honestly do love Bravo.
There's this hack apparently that he's going to be telling me on this podcast as we speak. By the way, what is it?
You know this hack.
Okay.
I put the game.
Oh yes.
On I'll put like the Bruins on my laptop. I just put the laptop on the coffee table, so I'm watching that.
Yeah, I do that too. And I for some reason though, like it never is reciprocated the other way. Like I'm always the one watching the game on my phone or on.
I feel so bad.
There's no back and forth.
Oh, there's no
what's up with
reciprocation.
that?
Oh no.
Jamo, I have a question.
No.
How many times when a show is when Real Housewives is on TV, do you ask how much longer? How much longer is this?
I'm sorry because your freaking games are 3.5 hours long. That's not fair. That's 4 Real Housewives episodes. If we watched 4 straight Real Housewives episodes, you would be saying the same thing.
We have a 2-hour finale to watch tonight.
Oh my! But that's literally one night. That's when it's a reunion. It's a 3-part series for literally like once in a blue moon. Every single game that we watch is over 3 hours long. So you're gonna tell me that they're comparable? They're not. Moving on. Sorry, Jamo.
I just play video games when she's watching a show that she wants to watch. So
ooh, what games you been playing lately?
Keep myself busy. I mostly just play Call of Duty, but Kevin's been trying to get me on FIFA again. So
I just got a new PS5. So if you want that work in FIFA,
oh snap! All right, we'll have to make that. We'll have to set that up.
You'll hear me complaining about it if you listen to this entire episode. But when we started recording yesterday, I was in the middle of a mental breakdown because my cousin beat me in Madden.
Oh boy!
And I'm 0 for 3 against him in the last 2 days, and I was not happy. I cannot beat this man. I cannot crack the code.
That's a tough scene. You're gonna have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to FIFA. That's my drawing board. Stick to FIFA. No one can stop me.
For wanting all these playoffs, you guys must be really excited for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So, Jamo,
Absolutely.
Mr. Kraft, what are your 2023 to 2024 season ending, right, or whatever it's called?
Yeah, Super Bowl prediction.
Super Bowl prediction.
But do you want to go through the games this week first, and then after that he can give us
No, I want to hear his Super Bowl prediction first.
Okay, all right, fair.
That's what I want to hear first.
Super Bowl prediction first. I am going to go with the San Francisco 49ers out of the NFC. Frankly, I think they're pretty above and beyond all the other teams left on the NFC side, and I can't see them not making the Super Bowl. The AFC is a little bit more interesting. I think you have 4 teams that could win those games. My pick is going to be the Buffalo Bills. I think they have that kind of extra mojo to them where they've kind of turned around their season, and they've been having to win all these games almost the entire second half of the season, and they just seem to be clicking right now. I also have a future on them to win the Super Bowl, so I'm pulling for them. I'm going to go with the Bills beating the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and that's my prediction.
Have you been playing COD with Poyer at all, or is he busy?
I have not, no. I've played a couple times with him in the past, but not this newest iteration of Call of Duty. I think he's been busy trying to win playoff games.
Hey, makes sense. Makes sense.
Oh, is this one of your players, Mr. Kraft?
This is the safety for the Buffalo Bills, who is married to Logan's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're married.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so send him all your best wishes. I'm sure that your future is heavily, biased on the safety here.
You looked up our original Super Bowl predictions from the beginning of the season.
Yes.
Who'd you have again?
I think I said, I think mine, honestly, I think that mine was a question mark and yours was the 49ers versus the Ravens.
Which I'm sticking to.
That's those are the 2 number 1 seeds. So
yeah, I feel like a
old
clown
prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I really went on a limb on that one.
Well, I mean, if you said it before the season started, then you get credit for that.
Exactly. Anything could have happened. People could have got hurt. Anything could have happened. especially with all the people that got hurt this year. But anyways, let's want to go through some of the games this weekend. We have 4 games. My question to you guys is: do you want to do against the spread, or do you just want to pick money line winners?
Oh,
because we're in the
Spread.
playoffs. Spread. All right, cool.
There you go.
So
there it is.
First game, AFC matchup, 4:30 on Saturday. We have the Houston Texans, are 9.5 point underdogs, visiting the Baltimore Ravens, the number 1 seed. Rach?
Oh, I'm saying the Ravens.
Even though they're given 9.5 points?
Yeah, because I think that Lamar is better than CJ Stroud. But that's
All
just
right,
me.
that's fair.
James?
I mean, I would take the Texans in that game. I think that the Ravens win. I just think it's going to be a close game. I'm done doubting CJ Stroud, like rookie quarterback, whatever you want to say, but like to me, he's proven that he can sling it with the best of them. So yeah, I think the Ravens are going to win the game. I think 9 points is a lot, and I would take the Texans in that spread.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Texans too. I'm in the same exact place as you. I think the Baltimore Ravens win, but I think 9.5 points is just too many points for a team that's proven that they're absolutely legit.
That's just a touchdown and a field goal, boys. A touchdown and a field goal.
Yeah, I mean it could happen.
As far as spreads go, that's a pretty high spread in an
Especially
NFL playoff game.
You're moving on right into another spread with the NFC playing at 8:15, which is the Green Bay Packers, who are
Plus 9.5.
They're 9.5 point underdogs as well at San Francisco 49ers. I'm all 49ers here. Like, I am 49ers to, like, I'm thinking this too. I'm a 49ers girly.
Another big spread, like you said. I just feel a little bit differently about this game. I think the 49ers are going to roll them. I think the Packers are happy to have won that first playoff game, and they've overachieved this year, and they're like going to be able to hang their hats on winning that one playoff game in a year that they thought they would be rebuilding, and they're going to get a little taste of reality in this game, and the Niners are going to roll.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the fact that we're all agreeing here.
Yeah. This means that all these picks are going to lose. So.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly. But I agree. I think 49ers roll, and Green Bay's already overachieved. They're already gotten further than they expected or than they even wanted. Not that they wanted, but I just don't think that they can compete.
The Green Bay Packers, I have to say, when they beat the Dallas Cowboys, and I posted that TikTok or video of me having a meltdown over the Dallas Cowboys. Well, truly, CeeDee Lamb not getting one touchdown in that game. We uploaded it or whatever, and the Packers fans that comment on these videos are the nicest diss comments like I've seen. It's like, we're just a bunch of cheeseheads, like happy to be here. I'm like, what the fuck? Like the other teams like that I posted, they're like, oh, this girl's an idiot. Like she's so like, oh, that like your team fucking sucks. And literally the Packers are commenting like a green heart, like where I'm like, is this for real? Like what are the Green Bay Packers?
The Midwest.
So Midwest, so nice. No, the comment today, it was not a Green Bay Packers fan. It could not have been because they commented, the game was way before that, goofy or something like that. Like something that I'm like, fuck you, dude. Don't call me goofy. You're the fucking goofy who didn't read the actual video, but whatever. Anyway,
They didn't read the video.
I just wanted to say that the Green Bay Packers, their fans, you guys, very sweet people.
It's a classic jersey matchup game too, just aesthetically pleasing between the 49ers and the Packers.
Very, very true. It's giving point. Christmas.
Great point.
Yeah.
Who do we got Sunday? You want me to give it?
Yeah, give it up because I have a very bad time, I do a bad job reading these things.
No, I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Sunday, you have another NFC matchup at 3 p.m. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 6.5 point underdogs at the Detroit Lions. Who do you got?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. My heart is with the Lions and my brain is with the Bucks. I think that this line at 6.5 is just begging you to take the Lions, and it's like a sucker line. So for the purpose of this podcast, I will take the 6.5 with the Bucks. But I will be rooting for the Lions and probably bet on them and lose my money. So
I'm for you with the Lions. I feel like both of these QBs have something to prove. Like Crybaby Baker is literally just, I can't stand him. But I know that a lot of people like him, and he's like more of like an underdog trying to prove himself. And so is is it Goff?
Yeah.
Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff with the Lions. You know, he's trying to make them go all the way here, and I'm fully in the Lions. I'm fully with the Lions here. I think that they're going to get their act in order. Not that it's not in order. Obviously, they made it this far, but with the Bucks, they're going to be like, see ya.
I do think the thing that worries me about the Lions is like that was such an emotional win for them, and
Totally.
like how are they going to get themselves up for this next game when like that felt like such an accomplishment to win that first playoff game. So I don't know. I'm pulling for them. I'm going to be rooting for them.
Great
I'll probably
point.
bet on them as well, but I think that the right bet would be on the Bucks.
Yeah, I honestly, I think the Lions take this one. I think I know you meant when you said like it seems like a sucker line, but I think it seems a sucker line in the other way, where it seems like it's too many points, especially after Saturday coming off of 2 large spreads. Like I feel like those games are going to be closer than we expect. So I think that everyone's going to expect this Tampa Bay team to keep it close. But I think that Detroit is just head and shoulders better than the Bucks, and I think similar to the Packers, I think the Bucks have overachieved, and I think Baker's overachieved, and I think credit to Baker. Like, want to talk about a comeback story? I'm surprised that you're singing the same tune, because I think it's really impressive to see like his journey since like he was forced out of Cleveland, going to Carolina, dealing with what he had to deal with there, getting forced out again in the middle of the season, going to LA, playing a few games there, playing well, and getting another opportunity. I think like and making the most of that opportunity, being top 10 in passing in the league. Like I think that he's been very impressive. I think that he's proven that he could be a starter in this league. I just think that it all comes to an end this week, and I think that the Lions continue to roll. I just think that the Lions defense are going to get incredible amount of pressure on him. I think Aiden Hutchinson gets like another 2-3 sacks, and they just they get a turnover and just dominate.
Hutchinson's a beast. I agree with you on Baker. I saw an Instagram post of like a picture of him as like a scout team lineman for the Panthers, and it was just like 2 years ago he was getting scout team reps as a D lineman for the Panthers. Like, what the hell are they doing?
Right. Makes no sense. But that goes to show. Sorry to go back to the Patriots point, but like
all roads lead back to the Patriots.
Always. But like a lot of shit depends on like the environment and like the situation. Like Mac, I don't want him to be our quarterback anymore, but I feel for him, and like I am interested to see if he gets another opportunity somewhere else, if he can do something similar than what Baker's doing right now, where like if you get him a bunch of weapons around him, get him a good offensive line, I think he can distribute it out and with a fresh start.
I mean, similar note, like a lot of stuff is coming out about how like Dan Campbell had to like work a lot with Jared Goff to like rebuild his confidence after that trade, when it was basically like the Rams saying you're not good enough to win a Super Bowl for us, and Dan Campbell basically like repeatedly telling Jared Goff like, you're our guy, you can win here, like we want you here, which is obviously a good story, and seems to be in a good spot now. So
even
you grow where you are watered.
Yeah, I mean, I think sports are no different than any other thing in life, like your job or your relationship or whatever. Like, there is a human element to what is going on in these organizations, and like it can't be ignored. So yeah, to your point, like the dysfunction in organizations, I think that's what I attest the Eagles, what's going on with the Eagles. right now. Is like there's dysfunction within the organization that maybe we don't know all the like details of it, but clearly something's going on because they have all these really talented players that just all of a sudden like aren't playing football.
Couldn't agree more. That brings us
And
to our
that's why
last
the Jets always suck.
Right.
Speaking of our Jets.
Oh yeah, have to.
Speaking of our
Seriously.
Jets
Have to put
fans.
a
Because
dagger
their
in there.
freaking owner is too busy wearing these freaking diamond necklaces because he think and like having freaking sexy red like next to him on the sideline.
Oh, I'm
in
sorry.
preseason.
Do not even put a bad word on Sexy Red's name, okay? Because she is incredible. She probably made the soundtrack for the football season this year. Exactly. So don't freaking even. No bad
You
words
see
here
me, you try to see
about
what's
Sexy
up.
Red. But obviously, from one Sexy Red to another, I'm talking Travis Kelce and the freaking Chiefs, which is our last game that we are going to be talking about with the AFC ending the playoffs. AFC Sunday football. I don't even know how the fuck to say this, you guys.
You're good.
6:30 p.m. We have the Kansas City Chiefs 2.5-point favorites to the Buffalo Bills. Who do you have?
I think this is the best game on the slate. Like, who's not excited for this matchup? Obviously, it's the closest spread as well. I'm going to go against a cardinal rule of mine, which is like never bet against Patrick Mahomes. I think there's a lot of kind of similar feeling to how we used to feel with the Patriots and Tom Brady is like, it doesn't matter what we look like in the regular season. Come playoff time, we're winning and we're dominating. You can set your clock to us going to the AFC Championship. So I think that's kind of how Chiefs fans feel, and rightfully so. I think they've been to 6 straight AFC Championships. That being said, I told you I had the future on the Bills. I'm pulling for the Bills, so I'm going to take the Bills.
Ooh, this is a tough one for me. I feel like I kind of also feel like the Bills are going to win this. I do. I think they're going to be at the Bills Stadium. I think they're going to be, the Chiefs just are, there's a lot of momentum, but I think it's like coming to halt, and I think that Josh Allen is just going to keep running this freaking football as he does and just get those TDs himself.
You got the Bills?
I think the Bills.
So this matchup, I think it's like, bring it back to video games. I feel like the Buffalo Bills are playing a video game where they can't pass the last level in beating the Chiefs. Like every year, like I feel like they get an early lead in one of these playoff games against the Chiefs and just it doesn't go their way. But I think this year that all changes. I think that they are so battle tested and they've gone through so much adversity that, like, on the complete other side of like what Philly's dealing with, I think that the Bills have already dealt with that this year, and I think they've like grown stronger from it and became more cohesive from their adversity. So I think that's something that they haven't had in years past, and I think that's going to be the difference in them winning. Another part about like this is in Buffalo. I'm honestly sick and tired of watching Bills Mafia jump through fucking burning tables. Like, what are these people doing? Jumping through tables that are on fire. Have you ever seen any of these videos?
No.
I'll show you. There's these people at the tailgates. They literally set their freaking table on fire, and people jump off a snowbank or a truck through the like burning table.
Wait, do you know what this is?
Do I know? Yeah. Bills Mafia. They jump through tables. They got the guy who puts mustard and ketchup all over himself. They got guys cooking pizzas and filing cabinets. They got people drinking shots out of a cannonball.
These are upstate New Yorkers, okay? These are
they have nothing better to do.
They are on the border of Canada. They are literally like, what the actual fuck is happening, okay? Like, these are people that are just in no man's land, okay? So they have to entertain themselves somehow. Like, it's like cow tipping in the Midwest.
After this podcast is done recording, go on YouTube and look up Pinto Ron. He's the guy that squirts mustard all over himself.
Great. Perfect.
It's a pretty interesting scene.
That's exactly what I will be. Actually exactly what I will be doing. I'm very nervous, but you know what? It's To each, you know what? To each their own. If they want to do that, I'm going to let them.
Maybe we get like a live reaction video of you watching that for the first time, posted on TikTok.
Perhaps.
I'm a content machine.
I mean, you're hired, okay? You're hired over here. But thank you so much, Jamo. This was so much fun, and I really, I know Nate appreciates you coming on again to do this round 2. I have to say, this may have even been 10 times a better combo.
1,000 times.
A trillion times better than yesterday's conversation. I mean, you just brought the heat. You are incredible. Thank you so much for joining us, for your insight, for your tips, and just being, the best craft that we've ever had on this podcast.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully it's not the last time I come on. And it's amazing how much smoother the conversation goes when we can actually hear each other.
I know, truly.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking more time.
End it like we always do.
Oh, shit, I need my cup.
Go get a cup. All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We hope you enjoyed. And cheers to episode 69.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of your favorite sports drama podcast, The Double Dose, the drama of sports. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to our podcast wherever you watch and listen, and give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Double Dose Pod. Thank you.